Medford Police want your help getting the area's most wanted fugitives off the streets.
Tonight, we're heading out to the police department for a look at this week's worst offenders. News 10's Crystal Henderson's there with the latest round of mugshots. Crystal?
One suspect remains the most wanted criminal in Medford. That suspect is the person responsible for the death of William Houston. Earlier in the newscast, we told you about this letter. Lieutenant Mike Boudreau, what can you tell us about it?
Well, this letter is certainly probably one of the most interesting tips that we've received on the Houston case, and we just need to find out who wrote it at this point. I mean, the Houston murder is still our #1 priority.
All right, and meanwhile, there's plenty of crime to talk about in Medford. In fact, recently you made an arrest.
We did. We profiled Kendra Rae Goltz. She was wanted on some various charges we profiled her last week, and she was picked up by the sheriff's office, who actually stopped her in a car. They got lucky there. And we also had a tip on another wanted person as well, and that person's out of state. So the tips are coming in, and that's good.
Okay. And there's also another person who you're looking for right now. Who's that?
Yeah, let's talk about Carlos Zamora. He's 19 years old. He's wanted on various charges of attempting to elude and aggravated theft, which is a result of a couple different cases of a fight he was involved in which he jumped in a car when police responded, and then he took off in the car, and he ultimately jumped out of the car and he got away. We identified who he was, and we're looking for him now.
Okay, and I know there's more on your list here. Who else are you looking for?
Gharrett Parker. Gharrett Parker, he's actually wanted in 2 separate states, Nevada and Oregon. He's wanted in Nevada for cocaine possession, and he's wanted here in Oregon for various counts of assault, which stems from a domestic disturbance, a domestic violence situation. So it would be nice to get him into custody.
And still one more suspect on your list there you're looking for. Who's that?
Yeah, Shane Michael Stancliff. He is 23 years old. He's wanted for DUI. Interesting case about this subject in that he was actually called in by somebody who was sitting in the car next to him. So his passenger called him in as under the influence, which is a different twist that we've seen, and he was stopped. He wasn't under the influence. He was almost double the limit, so he needs to be held responsible for that.
All right, thank you so much. And of course, if you've seen any of these suspects, make sure to call Medford Police. And coming up later in the newscast, police are looking for a suspect who put up quite a fight. We'll tell you about it. Covering your news live in Medford, back to you in the studio.